everyone and welcome to Liara's Kitchen. In today's video, I would be showing you how I made this chocolate cake. So here I've taken some dark chocolate ganache. The ratio is 2 parts of chocolate to 1 part of cream. And this is the consistency you would need, not too thick and not too thin. So firstly, I'd be adding some ganache on the board so that the cake does not move. Now add the first layer of the chocolate sponge and press it from the top. Here I've used the same recipe as my chocolate cupcakes. The link will be mentioned in the description box. Now let's add some dark chocolate ganache in between the layers. And gently spread it around. Now we'll add the second layer of the sponge. Follow the same process until you're done with all the layers. Okay, now once we're done layering all the cakes, it's time to crumb coat the cake. So here I'm using milk chocolate, as I would be covering the cake with milk chocolate. And this is the consistency of ganache that we would need. The ratio of milk chocolate ganache is 3 parts of chocolate to 1 part of cream. With a thinner consistency, it's easier to spread the ganache all over the cake. Now, what do I exactly mean by crumb coat? Can you see how uneven that cake is? Now by applying ganache, it seals in the crumbs and does not let the cake break. Can you see how it's sealing the crumbs? Now let's go ahead and crumb coat the entire cake the way I did. It doesn't need to be perfect at this stage, as we would be adding another layer of chocolate over this. Now let's smoothen the edges and pop it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Now once the cake has cooled down a bit, let's go ahead and cover it with chocolate ganache. As I'd mentioned before, I would be covering this cake with milk chocolate ganache. So I've added it to a piping bag, and I find this way the easiest to cover a cake. Okay, so now this is a very important tool if you need a smooth cake. You keep it flat on the board at an angle and with the other hand you turn the table around. Now you clean the scraper and repeat the process. Fill all the empty parts with some ganache and start scraping again. Now while ganaching the top of the cake, make sure that the spatula is kept flat on the surface and not at an angle. Now just in case you're not happy with any part of the cake, apply some ganache over it and keep smoothing it. Now here, the spatula should be kept at an angle and pull it towards you. There is a small little part here which hasn't been covered well, so let's go ahead and cover that too. Make sure to keep cleaning the scraper after every use. Now we'll keep the cake in the fridge and make the ganache for the drips. I would be using dark chocolate ganache for the drips, and this is the consistency it should have. Here I've taken piping tip number 3. If you don't have this tip, you can just use a plain bag. I find it very convenient to place a bag in a glass like this and then add my ganache, cream, whatever I'll be adding into the piping bag. Now to check if the consistency is okay, you can just do a little test the way I'm doing right now. It looks perfect to me. So let's go ahead and add the drips on the cake now. Apply the pressure according to the length of the drip you want. Less pressure for a shorter drip and more pressure for a longer drip. Now I'll place the cake in the fridge for some time and start prepping for decoration. I decided to use both dark as well as milk chocolate to decorate the cake. So on a piece of plastic wrap, I first spread some dark chocolate and beside it some milk chocolate. Just roll it the way I'm doing right now. cut the plastic wrap from one side and place it in a piping bag. Here I've used a 2D nozzle. So here I've taken two different size of bowls. One is a big one and one is a small one, so that I can accurately mark this circle and start piping over it. Please do this only when the cake is well set in the fridge. Now, just in case you don't have bowls of the size that you want, you can use a toothpick and start marking the circle first and then start piping over it. Now for the second circle, I will be piping in the opposite direction. And I'll finish it off with a small little rosette in the center. Now let's border the cake the same way we did on top. And there you go, our chocolate cake is ready now. If you liked today's video, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.